let's look at another Korean Eternity post about interactions with NPCs. So, because the live service has been ongoing for so long, it is not easy to consistently and meticulously manage every line of dialogue for so many characters. Sometimes a character's personality or speech pattern has changed over time, even passing through multiple writers. At the time of the update, lines that were consistently recognizable and amusing were now difficult to understand. There are more lines than you might expect that are out of date or contain memes that were popular only during a specific period. Unfortunately, there are some instances where dialogue itself contains errors. I wanted to see a variety of interactions for each keyword pressed, but some characters didn't have as many lines as I expected. If character A reacts to 20 keywords, it's natural to expect 20 reactions from the character B. Some characters have lots of lines, while others only respond to unknown keywords or even randomly output no lines at all for a single keyword. It was always disappointing that some characters enjoyed the fun of discovering hidden reactions when certain conditions were met, while others didn't. I still remember the promise I made when I first established Melwyn in Dumbarton. Let's make her feel like a truly living character by adding various reactions based on the events she's experienced in Erin, the passage of time, and the circumstances and conditions of the Militians. I want richer interactions with my favorite and cherished NPCs. But do you know how many permanent NPCs are in Erin? People who welcome us all year round. Yeah, there are a lot of them. You can see that just by looking at the continent of Ulad, there are over 100 permanent NPCs welcoming the Militians. So how many travel journal keywords can we use to talk about one person? Recently I've been trying to respond to around 30 keywords. Furthermore, I've been able to trigger multiple responses to a single keyword. And you only need to write lines for 100 people and 30 keywords and number of variations. It's not as easy as you think. I remember talking about how difficult it was to write over 100 gift lines during an NDC presentation. While it might be fine if you were writing lines for just 1 or 2 characters, writing lines for 100 characters to respond to the loot keyword eventually leads to limitations. Yeah, I mean, they're basically saying, like, there's so many responses to just one keyword in our journals, and there are lots of keywords, and since we have so many characters, it is a lot more difficult than it looks. Maintaining this daunting task during a live broadcast is even more challenging. Working on everything at once would be physically time-consuming. Dialogue requires meticulous thought and careful consideration, requiring meticulous repeated review. However, it's not possible to assign specific roles to certain individuals while others remain unrelated, because every NPC is someone's most precious and beloved. So yeah, I like how they're making every character, they're trying to make every NPC feel unique or different, so they're not just like copies of each other. Sometimes a line of dialogue is so long that it makes you suffocate, and now there's a chance to end the agony of wanting to just press enter. Above all, I was able to solidify this decision through discussions with fellow developers within the development team. Honestly, I just wanted to have more conversations with all the NPCs. I love the process of enjoying conversations with characters, getting to know the world of Aaron better, and naturally blending in. Yeah, I think doing that will make the game feel more alive if each NPC is, like, unique and has their own thoughts on things. It's very fun to go talking to, like, NPCs about different topics and, like, hearing what their opinion is on things. Like, I like to ask NPCs what their opinions are on Dark Knights, if any of them even know anything at all. And it's interesting to get, like, all the different answers for that. So we've decided to completely rewrite all the characters' dialogue. We're enriching it by applying multiple variations to single keywords, ensuring even the most recent characters have the same amount of dialogue as those updated more recently. Beyond just the length, we're also applying common conventions to the overall dialogue text, making each page of dialogue much more readable. But as I was rewriting dialogue, I realized that the keywords in our travel journal also needed to be organized. There are some differences between how keywords are used in the travel journal now and in the past. In the past, keywords were typically obtained briefly during specific quests, used in conversations, and then later retrieved. Due to the structure of the live, it wasn't easy to track where each keyword was acquired and removed. Furthermore, in the past, quests, skills, and hints could only be acquired through these keyword conversations. With the numerous reorganization of growth paths and related content, these keywords are no longer used, but remain in the travel journal. So here you can see what the travel journal will look like in Eternity, and it looks like this is what they're going with for the interface for now. You can see the little menu down here on the UI. In Eternity, we're also renewing all the keywords you can use in conversation. We've pre-designed a generous pool of keywords that NPCs respond to, and reorganized them so that pressing those keywords will yield interesting stories from anyone. We've also redesigned the timing for acquiring keywords, ensuring that no keyword can be lost if you miss a certain time. We are also refining the description of characters' appearances, which is unique to Mabinogi and introduced in a lyrical style as soon as the conversation begins. When it comes to character descriptions, some characters have very sensuous and rich introductions, while others are often overly brief. We're refining and selecting words that best capture the character's characteristics and personality, and we're working to ensure all sentences are of similar length. Of course, if we've used expressions that truly fit a character in the existing text, we're working to maintain the original text as much as possible while refining them. We're working hard to create a variety of conversations with these characters, but we need a more immersive device. Mabinogi's diverse characters all have detailed settings. It's a shame that we're the only ones who see these settings as mere planning documents. While organizing simple comments for each character in the 20th anniversary art book, I felt that it would be best to check in these things in-game. So yeah, this looks pretty cool. I like the idea of keeping all the characters in Mabinogi unique and Aaron unique. It's nice to have lengthy conversations about certain topics with certain NPCs in the game. And I definitely don't want to feel like any NPC is useless. The NPCs that are the most interesting are the ones that have, like, personality. So today we'll be looking at a part that was shown in the Korean Fantasy Party for Mabinogi. We'll be looking at character creation in Unreal Engine 5. And we have English closed captioning. There's the login. So they played this live on stream. Here's the new character select screen. This looks pretty cool.
안녕하세요, 밀레시안 여러분. 마비노기 총괄 디렉터 민경훈입니다. 이번 이터니티의 소식의 시작을 제가 직접 보여드리고 싶었습니다. 그래서 캐릭터 생성 과정을 제가 직접 좀
So the director is going to show us the character creation process for Unreal.
업데이트 후에 실제로 만나보실 모습은 지금과는 조금 다를 수 있는데 지금 현재 저희가 구현해 놓은 모습을 천천히 보여드리도록 하겠습니다. 이렇게 하나씩 선택할 수 있고요. 새 캐릭터를 선택해 보겠습니다. 이 의상은 처음 보시는 의상이죠. 이터니티 버전으로.
This is the first time you've seen this costume, newly created in Eternity version. This is the newbie wear, okay.
전에 잠깐 소개해드린 것처럼 이런 형태의
A while ago, yes, as I briefly introduced, this is now...
신발도 이제 구현해 볼 수 있고요.
Now let's implement pretty shoes in the shape of...
일단은 남캐를 한번 잠깐 보여드릴게요.
Okay, first the male character. So yeah, you can pick the male character's age. And this shows you like the stats. Because the stats are like slightly different.
이렇게 당연히 나이도 이렇게 고를 수 있고요. 능력치는 신경 쓰지 않으셔도 됩니다. 임시 수치로 넣어둔 거예요.
So it looks like over here we have like a couple of different like starting outfit options. So like this is the newbie wear over here, and it looks like you can pick like one of these other 3 outfits to start with. So far this looks really good.
얼굴도 이렇게 이거 이따가 조금 이따가 자세히 보여드릴 텐데 이제 남캐 헤어들은 지금 일단 반영해 놓은 건 이 정도고요. 여러 가지 익숙하신 헤어들이
Couple of the different male hairstyles.
이런 헤어도 있고, 그리고 당연히 이렇게 색상도 선택할 수 있습니다.
And the different colors.
일단 다시 돌아가서 여성캐로 선택을 해보겠습니다.
And you can notice, like here, you can see some of the hair clipping through her outfit. So it's a lot easier to notice, like, the hair clipping through the outfits on the female character, because she has, like, longer hair. And the longer hair options typically, like, clip through the outfits more.
예쁘죠? 예쁜 건
Yeah, you can see it like better up close. You can see how it's like cutting into the shirt and stuff. But it looked a lot better in game. That might just be like a character creation thing. Like when I saw like the in-game footage that's later, it looked a lot better and a lot less noticeable.
가까이서 봐야 됩니다. 이렇게 가까이서 보시면 이 디테일이 좀 보이실 것 같아요. 이렇게 의상도 이런 식으로 디테일하게 표현해서 구현을 해볼 수가 있고요. 피부 색상도 이렇게 선택한 대로 바로 잘
And different skin tones. That's cool.
네.
That one's cool too.
이런 모습도 그렇고 다양한 모습을 볼 수 있고, 네, 저는 개인적으로 좋아하는 연한 복숭아 빛을 선택하겠습니다. 이 헤어도 이렇게 반영이 되는데 아마 지금 잘 아시는 헤어들이 있을 거예요. 아시는 헤어들이 있고, 그렇죠. 이 헤어는 좀 이따가 다시 보실 수 있을 것 같은데 저는
Okay, this hairstyle doesn't clip through the outfit at all. So that's good. Because, like, the hair that hangs off to the sides here in the front, like, that's far enough away from the outfit that doesn't clip into it. And, like, the ponytail in the back goes out far enough to the point where it doesn't, like, clip into the back of the character at all.
죄송합니다. 제 취향대로 일단 선택을 해보겠습니다. 그리고 눈도 지금은 이 정도로 반영이 돼 있고요. 눈도 아마
Couple of different options for eyes.
네, 이 눈으로 선택을 하겠습니다. 아, 제가 헤어 색상을 안 정했네요. 제가 그 블루 계열을 좋아해서 여기 제
Changing the hair color?
명확하게 있지는 않은데 네, 다른 의도는 없습니다. 블루를 선택을 하겠습니다. 그리고 눈도 맞춰야죠. 네, 이렇게 맞추겠습니다. 그리고 입은
Yeah, changing the hair and eye color.
있고요. 그리고 장식이랑 화장도 있는데 네, 이 부분은 네, 나중에 또 보여드릴 기회가 있을 것 같습니다.
There are decorations and makeup too, so you can use that.
네, 이런 프리셋들을 확인하면.
Yeah, and here's some of the different like starting outfits. Now he's going through like those options. This one goes really well with the blue hair.
하실 수가 있습니다. 네, 이렇게 있고요. 그리고 이렇게 가까이서 보시면 좀 재질감이 좀 다르죠? 네, 이런 의상도 있고, 그리고 왠지 궁수한테 어울릴 것 같은 네, 이런 의상도 있고요. 네, 이런 의상도 있습니다. 네,
Yeah, this one looks pretty cool. Looks like an outfit that maybe like a priest or a healer would wear, like a priestess or a healer. Or a mage.
이제 본격적으로 한번 떠나보겠습니다.
They're laughing because the name was taken when he tried to name the character.
네. 서버는 지금 유튜브 하나만 반영을 해둔 거니까 혹시나.
The server currently only reflects one loot. They might be talking about like loot server. Since I've already done it, maybe other than loot, I hope the servers aren't upset. Okay, so he's gonna create the character. The owl looks pretty cool too.
어떠세요? 밀레시안과 에린을 연결해줄 조금 새로운 모습의 소울 스트림입니다.
The soul stream looks pretty good. I like how they added some color to like this part where you walk around. Like there's some blue, some gold, and maybe some like blue and purple more in the center where now is.
네, 여기 계신 분들은 너무 잘 아시다시피 마비노기에서 의미 깊은 장소잖아요. 네, 그래서 좀 더 가슴에 남을 만한 모습으로 변화를 시도해보고 있습니다. 우리 나우가 쳐다보네요. 네, 아이고 죄송합니다. 아, 제가 지금 손이 떨리고 있어요.
These dialogue options on the side are pretty cool. Like, I like the way the boxes look for text and everything. So far, this looks pretty good as far as the interface goes for like chatting with an NPC.
네, 하나하나 말을 걸어보고 싶지만 지금 이제 보여드릴 게 좀 더 있기 때문에 애니로 바로 가겠습니다. 네. 다음에 또 만나요.
And now she's gonna send us to Aaron. Wait, let's go back just a little bit. This was just a brief moment, but it looks like this would be like the loading screen. That might change like before it comes out. This is just a test play that they're going through. But this is simple. It looks nice. Wouldn't mind if that was the main like loading screen. And then they finally get into game. And you can see that there are like a couple other characters out here. These might be members of the development team that are like working on it. Or it could be some sort of closed beta in Korea. Either way, I think it's a good thing that they're like stress testing it. But yeah, we'll look at the gameplay and cover that in another video. But that's the character creation. And so far, I think it's pretty good. So this video recently came out in Korea about 18 hours ago, 18 or 19 hours ago, almost a day. And this is called Mabinogi Eternity Battle Testing and Development Status. So let's take a look at this. And we have English closed captioning for this.
안녕하세요. 마비노기 총괄 디렉터 미경훈입니다.
This is Min Kyung-un, the general director of Mabinogi Eternity. So last summer we showed you Eternity's development and status and internal testing site.
뒤로 이터니티가 어떤 모습으로 찾아올지 많은 밀레시안 여러분들께서 궁금해하셨을 것 같습니다.
I think Militians have been curious about what Eternity will look like.
그래서 이번에는
So this time we've prepared a meaningful opportunity to invite you, our Militians, to the boss battle we're currently developing and hear your opinions.
그간 이터니티에 보내주신 성원만큼이나 큰 관심과 열정을 제가 직접
At the test site, I was able to personally experience the great interest and passion that has been shown to Eternity so far. This test was conducted as a combat-focused test. So this is going to be like about the... I think it's going to be like about the Glass Scavellon boss fight. I prepared this video to convey the changed appearance of Eternity. Okay, so if we actually turn these off for a second, we can actually see the game screen right here. We have a better idea of what the UI is going to look like. It looks like there's some status effects listed down here. Our HP, our MP, and our stamina skills will be down here. I wonder if you'll be able to move this around the skill bar. And we can also see what the minimap will sort of look like. And then it looks like this is going to be the party information. So it looks like, I think these are the Arcana. So you'll be able to tell which party member has which arcana for parties just by looking at the icons. That looks like it's going to be pretty helpful.
생생하게 전해드리고 조금이나마 궁금하신 점을
Okay, here's the boss
이번
fight.
영상을 준비해 보았습니다. 그럼 지금부터 이터니티 전투의 모습이 어떻게
Now I'll show you how the Eternity battle has
테스트
changed
현장과 함께
step by step
보여드리겠습니다.
along the test site.
이번 테스트는
This test will present a reimagined version of the battle
밀레시안
with
분들의 기억 속에서
the
자리하고 있는 지원,
the final boss, the Glass Gavilan.
글라스 기분행과의 전투를 새롭게 재구성해서 선보여드리게 됐습니다.
Yeah, so we've seen some new Eternity posts about this guy, but now we can actually see like some of the boss fight in action. So this looks pretty good. We can see the full what the interface will look like. So here's our skills. There's the boss's HP. And you can see all your party members, what arcana they're in, who's the leader. The mini-map is over there. It's being blocked by the Mabinogi logo, but the mini-map is there. And this is the new boss room. They talked about this in one of their posts. The boss room is going to change. The gargoyle statues are going to do more. You're going to have to, like, do something with those gems, those purple gems over there.
구현하려고 노력을 했고 이러한 디테일과 발전된 표현을 통해서 보스전
Yeah, they tried to add like more movements and mechanics. So here you can see the way that it currently is, and here you can see like the new changes that they're making to it.
패턴이 완전히 다르지는 않습니다.
The strategy pattern is not completely different from the existing boss battles. However, we added new gimmicks to provide a variety of changes within the familiarity so that you can fully enjoy the fun through cooperation with party members. And we put a lot of effort into making the game more enjoyable through enhanced visibility and splendid production. We plan to continue to refine and perfect Eternity's unique boss battles, so please look forward to the future changes. And in this test, we increased the expressiveness of skill effects, along with new productions that were difficult to implement in Pleon. As you break through the Glass Gavilan's mood patterns and gimmicks, and reach a certain point, a cutscene-like transition scene will appear. Even during this moment, the battle continues, so you feel the tension without letting go, and feel the feeling that a new page is beginning more clearly. Yeah, that's pretty cool. After the transition is finished, it will fold to page 2. The background changes to a more tense one, and a more violent Glass Gavilan. We intended to create more fast-paced and tense battle experience by changing not only the pattern, but also the atmosphere of the space along with the page transition. Feedback you've given us during this Glass Gavilan Basics battle test will be used as valuable data to refine the overall battle tempo. Okay, yeah, so it looks like this is maybe going to be some sort of like closed beta test that actual players can do. Hopefully that's the case over in Korea. And it looks like they're open to feedback, so that's good. That's definitely the right move if that's like what they're doing. As you can see above, there have been significant changes not only to the presentation of boss battles, but also to the skill effects, while maintaining the original atmosphere We have improved the skill effects to be more flashy to fit the Eternity style.
보다 색감과 궤적 그리고 피니시 순간의 연출을 강화해서
Overall, we have strengthened the color, trajectory, and finishing moment presentation to ensure that it can be recognized at a glance even during party play. And we will continue to work hard to develop it so that we can continue to show you more advanced Arcana skills in the future.
이터니티 프로젝트의 아주 일부
I believe that the fact that we were able to show you a small part of the Eternity project
부분이나마 직접 보여드리고 이렇게 현장 테스트까지
and conduct
진행해볼
field
수
tests
있었던
like
것은
this
오랫동안 이터니티를 기다려주신 밀레시안 여러분들의 관심과 응원 덕분이라고 생각합니다.
is thanks to the interest and support of all the Militians who have waited for Eternity for a long time. We will do our best to show you an improved version as soon as possible. So, yeah, I don't know how long it's going to be before we get new information. But I'm assuming that we'll get another update on Eternity by the next fantasy party, which will probably be like in June sometime. But yeah, this is the most recent video with some updates. This was pretty interesting. Alright, let's play some Mabinogi today. So let's see, today we're gonna do some techs. We're gonna do like one tech mission, and then we're gonna do some dailies, and we're gonna do some commerce too. I was gonna pick up a Nearite yesterday from the Adventure Seal shop, so I'd have two, but I just didn't check in yesterday, so... Oh well. Oh right, this always crashes my game for some reason, like whenever I open, like, well, the time I opened 7 of these, it crashed my game. I'm gonna try opening 3. No, wait, let's try 1 first. I want to see if the number makes a difference. Okay, so it didn't crash this time. So 1 is safe. Let's play around with this a little bit. What about 2? Is 2 safe? Yes, 2 is safe. Let's try 3 this time. Okay, 3 is safe. I know 7 isn't. Let's try opening the last 4 this time. Okay, so 4 or less so far is safe to open. Glad I know that. We're gonna keep using these on Sekhmet's claws. The knuckles I'm working on. Is that all of them? I think that's all the spirit stones. So let's pull this open. And let's increase the bond by 20. Then we can level her again. About having gems right now. Wait a minute, let's see if we can fix that. Hey, there's a gem. I don't know if that'll be enough to level her though. No, not quite. Okay, well, we'll get her to level 18 today. And then we need 9 EP to level this. Alright, let's go figure out what the veteran dungeon is. And the normal daily dungeon too. I need to get that Nearite from the Adventure Seal shop anyway. This is the old veteran dungeon, that the old normal dungeon that's Barry. Okay, we'll keep that one. Okay, let's buy this. So we'll do 1 tech run later. Might even do the tech run first, just to get it out of the way. So, Rundle Dungeon. Yeah, let's go and do the tech mission first, actually. And we're in Dark Diviner, so we're going to keep that active for the time being. Got 8 days to use that. I can probably rebirth now, right? Yeah. What kind of shadow missions do we have? Thorin's request, that's boring. Other alchemists, yeah, I could do that. Okay. Let's go run the tech, then we'll do rebirth, then we'll do those shadow missions. So I can level up Forbidden Alchemist a little bit, then we can do the Veteran Dungeon after. Whoops, wrong room gate. It's not the one I meant to use. Oh, right now I have Edorcha. Let's just do that. Alright, so the tech run is done. Let's open this up. And that's all I want from that. Okay, let's get out of here. I forget if I was selling anything or not. Oh yeah, I did sell that. Put the check in here, and then all the gold in my inventory. I don't think I need to make repairs or anything right now. No, I did that recently. Okay, let's go ahead and rebirth. And we'll do our Tara Shadow mission to get some XP for Forbidden Alchemist. So Forbidden Alchemist is level 40? Most of the way to 41. Okay, receive random items. Let's do Nowhere to Run today as well for a little bit. Since we have the pass, we can get one of those crystals from here. And we have how many Shaman Mission passes? 2? Nice. Where's that crystal at? There's the Baltane crystal. Where's the Shadow crystal? There it is. Still not quite enough, huh? That'll probably do it. No? Wow. Okay. Alright, let's go to Tara. And we'll use this to get to level 60 or a little higher, and then we'll do Nowhere to Run to push to level 200. And time for the boss. I could just use Meteor from the other side of the door, but I don't even think that's really necessary. Let's spam Thunder a little bit. Done. Hey, one more point and we get that transformation. And now I'm level 68, so we're high enough to go and do the tech mission. I mean, not the tech mission, the Baltane mission. So we're going to use that 3 times Baltane Crystal. And hop over to Avalon Gate. Let's summon up the bunny to pick up any gems the zombies drop, because they do drop a lot of gems. And then this potion to give us 5 times the combat EXP. Alright, let's go. Baltane mission, nowhere to run. On Elite. There's the pass. And then we'll use the Japari pet buff. That'll give us a little bit more XP and movement speed for like 10 minutes. Okay, we're level 200 now, so there's no reason to be here anymore. Let's get the remaining gems and get out. There are a couple of gems out here. That blade fragment might be good, maybe not. Yeah, I think that's good enough. And then tomorrow we'll use the Forgetful Potion and get another 3 times Baltine Crystal and run it again. Yeah, it was a good call picking up that blade fragment. That's worth 100k. Alright. Let's get out of this place. And then... level up my spirit weapon, increase the bond by 10 more. How much time does that doll bag have left? Yeah, it's more than enough time. So we're going to switch to Arsenal Gunner next. And do the vet dungeon. So the vet dungeon is Rundle Dungeon. Let's go clear that next. After that, we'll probably just do some commerce. And time for the boss. Let's get rid of these skeletons first. And done in 16 minutes and 37 seconds. Okay, let's put these back over here and pull that out. We're gonna do some commerce now. I guess I could use the Forgetful Potion today and we could switch to Forbidden Alchemist and do commerce with that. Like, I don't need Dark Diviner for commerce. Dark Diviner's a little overkill for commerce. Yeah, okay, let's do it that way. So we'll switch. Because I'll need to be at level 60 to do the Baltane mission tomorrow anyway. Oh, it's all these trees interfering. There we go. That's what was getting in the way. Let's open up the shop, sell this here. I think that's the only super valuable thing I have to sell right now. Okay, so we missed yesterday for the Udersens event. I missed too, jeez. I don't have that much pawn left. Luckily, I don't really use pawn to purchase anything. Like, when was the last time I actually spent pawn on something other than getting extra stamps? It's been a while, so that's good. Okay, let's put all that in the bank. I think I wanted to work on my Bangor and E-main rating, is that right? No, E-main's level 7, so I'm where I want to be with that one. So I think I was working on Bangor and Tara then. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna be using the camel mount. Let's go Bangor and see what they have there. Oh wait, I can get lead. So I have access to all the trade goods in Bangor at the moment, actually. I guess level 6 is high enough? Okay, never mind. I'm not concerned about that anymore. I'm more concerned about getting Tara's rating up then. Let's sell these at Cobb. That's pretty close by for 919. So we're gonna head into E-main, then head through Osna Sale, and then Dunbarton area, then Cobb. Okay, so we sold all that stuff. How close are we to that next level? Uh, 64% of the way there. What's my cob rating? Still pretty low, but I want to focus on Tara right now. That's a little bit more important to me. I don't usually commerce from here. And then after that, I probably want to focus on like Philia and Quilla a little bit. So, That might be like more late this week, early next week. So we're gonna go back to Tara and get more stuff. So, same plan for now. Back to Cobb. Okay, so we were at like 64% or something like that for the Tara rating. Where's it at now? 83%? That's not too bad. $593 venture seals. How much did this enchant cost again? I don't even remember what days enchants are sold, but... yeah, it was definitely the prefix, the awakened one. I want to buy another one of those soon. Huh. I forget what the enchants are sold though, I'd have to check that out. I don't think they're being sold today, but I could check. Actually, I wonder if I still have it written down on a sticky note in my desk drawer. Oh yeah, I do. Awesome. So, enchants are on Thursdays, it looks like. So not today. But yeah, I just have like random notes about Mabinogi stuff on like post-it notes, and like the one that says like what day sells what stuff in the Adventure Seal shop, like I don't know how long ago I made that one, over a year ago, and it was just sitting in my desk drawer, so I was hoping it was still there, and it was. So Thursdays I can check for enchants again. Alright, well I think we'll wrap up the Mabinogi stream right around here for today. So we will be streaming Mabinogi again tomorrow. Doing more dailies, text, commerce, whatever.